Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is the recap review for Ready to Love. So before I get started, I just want to say, look at this. Look, this is day 5 hair, and if you don't know me, you don't understand. I sleep really, really hard, and for me to still have very defined curls after 5 days, 5 whole days, honey. It's about to be 7 whole days very soon. The seventh day is when I'm going to actually wash it out and do it again. But yeah, I've had this product on my hair for 5 days and I still have very defined curls. And for me, that is somewhat of a miracle because I sleep very, very hard. When I sleep on this side and I wake up, this side is completely matted down. Like, I'm just trying to get y'all don't understand. For me to still have curls like this, one of my black-owned businesses, y'all, that I'm going to be putting a spotlight on. I might do it this month and I might do next month. But yeah, y'all, it is the truth. Whenever I have my hair just like out like this, I'm probably just going to use that line of products. But just be on the lookout for that. I just wanted to go ahead and put that out there to help y'all understand that I just need for y'all to look 5 days. 5 days with defined curls, which is not something that I've ever experienced since I've been natural. So yeah, had to put that out there real quick. So be on the lookout for that. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this recap review. So the episode started out with Tommy meeting up with the ladies in I guess they call it the ladies lounge. And they are, discussing things because this week the power is going to be in the hands of the ladies. And basically, to make a long story short, Tommy was like, okay, imagine your number one pick. How that song go? Scheme, scheme, plot, plot. Whoever's your number one spot, you need to go ahead and take that person out of your mind and basically understand that you're going to be going out on a date with somebody who is not your number one. And Tommy was like, close your eyes and envision your number one. Now, realize that this the person that you're not gonna be going out on a date with. Tell me why Amber opened her eyes. Tommy had to tell her to close her eyes back. Like, y'all, I was like, oh my gosh, no. But yeah, I'm not. I'm just not here for. This season has just been so. I'm really trying. But it's like the people that they have to work with this season, I don't know what it is. Like, most of these people are just not it. And I'm just like, are y'all throwing yourselves at some of these people because you feel like you have gotten to a desperate place? Like, I can't. And I'm not the only person who feels this way. I'm not the only person that feels this way. There are people who have like a whole lot of, subscribers, and they feel this way as well. But I'm just like, what is going on, honey? So anyway, the dating and all that stuff is about to pop off, and Alexis fly and Ron linked up. Now, she keeps bragging that, he says that she is his number one and all this other stuff. And so they have never really gone out on a date like that. They do talk every day, but you never know what it is until you really sit down with that person. So they go into putt-putt, which I've been to a putt-putt before in Raleigh, North Carolina. It was fun. It is what it is. But yeah, I think they have one. They have one here too. So I've been to putt-putt a couple of times. And as usual, Alexis is like, well, I don't know how to do this, so I'm going to have you to show me how to do this. And I'm like, any opportunity for somebody to roll up on you. Like, I mean, I understand you wanting a man's touch. But, like, she makes it painfully obvious that she is just, like, yearning. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. So, I mean, and I'm not trying to down her for that. I'm not trying to say there's anything wrong with that. But it's painfully obvious. Like, it's kind of like the side half at my job. Like, she got to do the most to try to get people to come and associate with her. And I'm just like, girl, you got to jump in these people's faces. My thing is this. If it's organic, they going to want you. They going to come to you. They going to set it off without you having to do all this extra stuff. Now, ain't nothing wrong with wanting to, have motivation and you wanting to actually do a little bit yourself, but she be going overboard in my opinion. But anyway, so they, doing what they doing, and of course they want to know, Ronald wants to know if there's a situation that she already has in mind, like a number one. And y'all know AJ is like supposedly her number one, and I'm like, girl, the people who you've been having as number one, I don't understand, because I think she's had Troy up there. Y'all know Troy was trash, and I'm just like, girl, why? But they're trying to talk to one another, and I'm just like, okay, do what you do. But, of course, she still wants to know, am I still your number one? Because other people are under the impression that they are number one. And he was like, well, I mean, I've talked to them. Everybody knows. And so she really trying to hold his feet to the fire. And I'm like, girl, if you don't get somewhere. And they kept hugging 5,000 times. And when they left, he ended up giving her a piggyback ride off into the sunset. And I was just like, okay, whatever. So anyway, on to Amber and AJ. So she says that he is the complete opposite of what she would deal with, which I can see. I can see that. And my thing is this: I understand where Tommy is going with this, but as far as Amber is concerned, I ain't here for this particular situation. I'm just gonna say that for now. But yeah, I feel like AJ is just one of them people that this is why I like Amber. Amber has been saying everything that I've been saying the whole time. So she feels as though he's arrogant and he is just basically saying and doing what he got to do to stay in the competition, and he be doing the most. Like, he doesn't give anybody a sense of, oh man, he really lived for me. Like, I could tell he kind of feeling this person, but you can really tell he lived for this person. Like, this is his number one. I feel like he's just saying whatever he feel like he got to say to all of them and just macking to everybody. And it's like you have no clear sense of who he's really feeling, because he's saying what he got to say to be with everybody. And so he was kind of looking like, dang, I don't want anybody to mistake my confidence as arrogance, but I'm just like, I feel like it's arrogant. And she straight up was like, he feel like, I think he thinks that because he looked good. But I'm just like, what is y'all looking at? But I digress. I'm telling y'all, if most of these people didn't have beards, y'all would not be looking at them. If he wasn't tall, you would not be. I'm just like, what? Okay, anyway, I digress yet again. Not trying to read. I'm just saying, like, all of the energy that y'all are giving some of these people, I'm just like, y'all giving them too much, honey. Y'all are giving these people way too much. And I'm just like, I don't know what y'all looking at, but okay. So anyway, I just honestly feel like, if he didn't have a beard and he was tall, would nobody be looking at him? So whatever. So anyway, I could tell that situation does not go, it's not going well, and she ain't here for it. She just want Chris. So now Chris is actually meeting up with Chrysanthemum. And, he's definitely somebody that most people are only here for as a friend. So I'm trying to see how that's going to work out in the end, because he seems like a genuinely nice person, but I don't know. They really getting homie vibes. They were talking about their home life and growing up, because y'all know Chrysanthemum is like, I think half black, half Italian or something. Her daddy was Italian and all of that. But like, I hate how a lot of people grew up without fathers and all that. And, with Chris, he grew up without his, and his daddy ended up dying. And despite his father not being there, he felt some type of way about it. So I just always hate when situations like that happen, because these people have an opportunity to be in their children's lives and they don't. So I'm just like, whatever. But yeah, with their conversation, Chris was like, I feel like, let me read the energy. Let me read the room. I feel like you have 70% of, I'm feeling Chris, and 30%, I don't really know about all that. And so in the confessional, she was like, he kind of right. And I'm like, y'all don't see him for nothing as outside of just being a friend. So I just really wish y'all would just say what it is, so he can, really know, instead of y'all leading him on, making it seem like, oh, you might have a chance. You will lie. So anyway, now Amber is meeting up with Joelle. Y'all know I live for Joelle. He's fine behind. It's the bed for me. It's his accent for me. It's gonna always be. And he actually is fine. To me, he is fine. Now there are some people who they feel as though, oh, he gives uncle vibes and all that. Look, I like older men, and he ain't that much older than me, so I'm just like, okay, cool, do what you do. But they linked up, and he kissed her on the cheek. And she felt some type of way about it because, her and Chris ain't even been doing all of these things. And so she was just like, okay. She had a really amazing time with him. And, she was like, if the date goes well, if you've earned it, yes, I will return it the favor and I'll give you a kiss on the cheek. And so they had a really amazing time. And that he was just like, I have kids. How do you feel about that? Because normally I'm the type of dude that I ain't trying to chase nobody younger than me because I think she's 31 and he's like 40 something. And so he was like, normally I don't go that low, but it's something about her. And I'm like, yeah, she working outside of the fact of the job that she works. You could tell that she has something classy and amazing about her. So her personality is everything. You could tell that she's grown. You could tell that she about her business. So I'm here for her. I love me some Amber. So they having a good old time. Shoot, Joelle sitting up there snickering and getting his entire life. I was like, wait a minute, Joelle, wait a minute. Bernicia gonna be looking at you sideways in a minute. That might be why when we've seen previews like off rip before the show even came on, where you could tell they were digging one another and then all of a sudden they got into it. That might be why. I don't know. But yeah, Joelle is fine. I'm sorry. Joelle is so fine to me. But yeah, of course he wanted to know how she felt about kids because he obviously has twins. And I think they're 8 years old. And the wife that he had is deceased. And, he was like, I am ready to love. I have been there. I've been married. And of course, I'm still open to everything. And I didn't close anything off despite what has happened in my life. So I was like, okay then. But yeah, the date went well. You could tell that it started to rain because his shirt got a little wet and things. And so she ended up kissing him on the cheek. And so now she kind of feels some type of way because she didn't do all of that with Chris. And I'm like, oh Lord. So when he found out about it, how is that going to go? So, Jason ended up linking up with Liz. And y'all know Liz was the one who, when the masquerade ball happened, she was the masquerade ball. I'm just saying, it was the boom, guess who stepped in the room for me when Liz came in there. So I was like, okay then. So they ended up having a little moment where they sat down and they ate. And apparently she brought the ambiance. I was like, what is going on like at the end of this scene? But I'm going to get there. So they talking and getting to know one another. Of course, she wants to know how he feels about abstinence because she does not want to get in a relationship with somebody who, first of all, is not going to be a situation that's not going to lead to marriage. That's the type of person I am. Like, I'm a need for this situation. I'm dating in order for it to lead to marriage. So that's how she is. And on top of that, she wants to be abstinent. So, of course, she's asking him, what does he think about it? And he was like, if it's something that's important to you, yeah, I'm willing to go there. And then he like looked over the side and looked at her like, I'm saying? It's going to be hard. But I was like, Lord, he doing the most. They got on a Ferris wheel. Y'all, I can't. My anxiety. Tell me why my brother got on one when he was a whole lot younger. Of course, he was a child with my daddy. And I've been told that they already know me. I am not here for heights. So anyway, my brother got up there, and as soon as they got up high enough, my brother started screaming, was like, I need to come down. Like, he started like going crazy. And I'm like, yep, see, that's why I told y'all, don't even worry about buying nothing, talking about me getting on something that requires me to get up off the ground. I'm good where I'm at. I am surprised that I have ever gotten on. They had this ride at Six Flags called G-Force. It was Six Flags or Disney World. Was it Disney World? Disney World. It was some kind of G-Force thing where everybody that was in our group, we had a cup of water, and you had to see how much water was still left in your cup, if any, after riding the ride. And if it had not have been for my friends hyping me up and trying to get me to get on that, I would have never got on that ride. That's the one and only roller coaster I've ever been on. But I did have fun. A lot of people got, water spilled on them, but yeah, I ain't doing it. So anyway, they were done with their ride, and when they came back to the table, she said she had an all right time with him or whatever, and she starts putting stuff in her bag, and I was like, what is going on? So I guess the little, ambiance that she set up and had on the table was stuff that she brought. So I was like, okay, cool. So, she had, her heart and everything seems to be more so with David because of his spirituality and all of that. And, you know, even though she kind of feeling him, oh yeah, they was kissing and things too. Like he kept setting it off. He kept leaning in, kissing. I was like, sir, you doing a lot. Again, as I've said before, a lot of people, if they did not have beards, would nobody be saying hey bye none of them like that. I'm just saying, y'all would not be giving them all of this energy. So anyway, now Kyra and AJ are on a date. And y'all know how it was for her. Just in case you don't remember, she knew him before the show. They'd gone on like 2 dates before, and the last date went terribly wrong, where he did not pay, and he just left her to pay and didn't say nothing, which I think is still stupid. And to this day, he could have gave her the money back. Now, if he has and hadn't said anything, I don't understand why. But anyway, that's the least he could do. I would have paid. My thing is this. If I was still trifling enough to have just let that situation go the way it went, when I saw her on the show, I would have handed her the money plus more for that date, because you really had her out here looking stupid. And you already should have been way more embarrassed than you led on to be. But who am I? So anyway, they done linked up and they having them a little romantic dinner or whatever. And so she was just like, you know, he's in her top 3. And, you know, of course there are other contenders, but she wants to know where things can go with them. And I'm just like, girl, I feel like she's just holding on to the hope that because they knew each other, that they could have this amazing chemistry. They're making it seem like they have all this chemistry, but I'm just like, okay, if you say so. I don't really see it like that, but who am I? I'm just saying, for me, I just really feel like it's a situation where she was just like, oh, well, I already knew him before the show, so, you know, he's familiar and whatever. I don't know. So, let me see. What they not talking about, honey, because yeah, she feels like there is this amazing chemistry. I'm just like, okay. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where she see all this chemistry at, but she says she feels the chemistry and that the chemistry is everything. So, and like, he's the type of person where he feels like he needs to be independent, and he has not been able to communicate the way he should. And it's like, I'm gonna need for you to understand that communication is one of the major things that will help a relationship flourish. So if your last relationship ended because of miscommunication, I'm gonna need for you to get your life right, because ain't nothing gonna work if you don't do what you're supposed to do with communication and all that. So I'm just like, sir, do as you do. But she here for whatever supposed situations going on. She feels like it was so romantic, and I'm like, okay, all right, y'all. Time for me to roll my eyes. Y'all know how I am. I'm gonna try to not go off. I'm gonna try to not go there. I'm gonna try. So now we are seeing Bernicia and Dietrich. I'm trying, y'all. Okay. So y'all know how I feel about Dietrich. He gonna sit up here and say that he ain't here for BBW. How you ain't here for BBW when as soon as Bernicia walked in the room, you got your entire life? Bernicia is not a twig. Literally, Tressa is a slightly bigger version of Bernicia. So why you trying to play in everybody's face like, oh, I ain't here for BBW? But as soon as Bernicia came, boom, guess who stepped in the room? Now you getting your entire life. And like you could tell, he's smitten by her and he getting his entire life. But you over here living for somebody who you can't even talk to her. Like, he is to the point where he is just like kind of scared and kind of nervous and all this other stuff. Bernicia already said off rip, I don't like all of that. I need my man to be able to step up and do what he need to do and provide. And so she was like, look, I been providing for myself, and I'm not trying to say that I need a man who's gonna take over all the bills that I've been taking care of for all of my life. I got 3 girls. I've been taking care of us for as long as I can remember. So I mean, yeah, I'd be lying if I were to say, no, that's okay, I don't want nobody to take the burden off me a little bit. But of course she would want somebody to help her to take the burden off, because it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? I've started following her and Tressa today. And like anytime these shows start, I keep like once I say, "Oh, okay, I think I like this person. I think this person's cool." Whatever, I keep forgetting, and then I finally remember today. So I just started following them. But she has like, I mean, we've seen pictures, but yeah, I've seen very recent pictures of her and her daughter. So I was like, okay then. And she was setting it off, and she got into a what was that, a Rolls Royce? The Rolls Royce that I have been seeing all over Instagram, where if you sit in it, the door opens and swings out another way, and you got to hit a button, I guess, in order for it to close. I can't. To be that door closed too slow. I ain't got time. Like, I mean, the car looked nice, but she was in one of them, and I think she was talking about manifesting dreams and all that, which is cool. But yeah, to make a long story short, she ain't here for Dietrich. Even though he trying to be here for her, even though he tell me, I don't like BBW like that. I don't like people who look like you. Even though Tressa is a slightly bigger version of her. But I said what I said. So anyway, now the ladies are linking back up to talk to Tommy and let them know who their favorites are and who they like and who they don't like and all this other stuff. Dietrich's name came up and AJ's name came up. Hallelujah. I was hoping for a double elimination because, in all honesty, I just feel like AJ just saying what he want to say because he know that he got the mouthpiece. He one of them dudes that he know exactly what to say to get you, to reel you in. And Dietrich, I feel like he just there just so he won't get fined. He kind of just hanging in there. And I honestly don't understand how Ronald is still in the game. I'm just saying, like, no. Anyway, a lot of the ladies are kind of offended by what they're hearing. Bernicia was looking like, wait a minute, baby, when she heard about Joelle being out here kissing on folks because she let it be known, Amber let it be known that, you know, upon arrival, he set it off and kissed her on the jaw, as he likes to say. He kissed her on the cheek and all that good stuff. And so she was kind of looking like, oh, so this is what we doing. And I was like, oh my gosh, no. Oh gosh. So, yeah, y'all already know how Alexis think. Alexis thinks she everything, and Chrysanthemum was like, okay, whatever. If you think that's the number one. And I cannot with Alexis because it's like, how you gonna say, ooh, everybody my number one, ooh, this is my man, this is my man. And as soon as somebody says something about one of the people that you living for, which is just about everybody that's still left on the show, you get in your feelings. Like, Chrysanthemum, I think, says, no, Kyra says something about AJ. And so she's trying to make it seem like they're going to have a showdown over him. And I'm just like, anyway, I don't understand. So anyway, moving right along to the elimination. So Kyra met up with Dietrich and Alexis met up with AJ. So they were talking to them and let them know, you know, that they were in the bottom two. Wasn't nobody feeling them. Their name came up quite a bit. And AJ was doing the absolute most. So he there, and I'm like, sir, if the decision had been for you to go home, all of this extra stuff that you're doing right now, it wouldn't have worked. So it's like, stop. But of course, Alexis was falling for it, and I'm just like, girl, bye. So like, he knows that she's here for all the attention and doing the absolute most. And while she's trying to talk to him, he grabs her hands and is like, oh, you know where you need to be, and got her sitting on his lap. And she over here getting flustered, and I'm just like, you were here to deliver news. You should have straight up told him, no, I got some serious stuff to talk to you about. We, you know, if it's meant for you to still be here, we could do all this later on, but we got to be serious in this moment. But she's sitting on his lap getting flustered and can't even talk to him to tell him what the ladies have all said when they got together because he doing the most. So she was just like, everybody feel this type of way about you because you doing the most with everybody, and nobody can tell if you're being genuine because you giving the same energy to everybody else. And, you know, eventually she got off his lap and started talking to him, and the whole time, he just, y'all, and he like just sitting up there cheesing like, I know I ain't going home. I don't know what you talking about over there, but I ain't going home. And I'm like, y'all should have done a double elimination today. I'm sorry. But yeah. They ended up sending Dietrich home, and they let him stay, let AJ stay. And I was just like, why though? Y'all should let him go home because he doing the most. Um, like I said earlier, I feel like Dietrich was just there, hanging in there, because he just hadn't gotten eliminated yet. And I ain't here for him because he want to sit up here and say, well, my type is not BBW anymore, but let me live for Bernicia. If your type ain't BBW anymore, why would you sit up here trying to have dates with Tressa? But then all of a sudden, when y'all had a real date, now you ain't feeling nothing, and now you want to give her the cold shoulder and all of that. But you had all the energy and all of the, oh my gosh, what was me, all the stars and all the butterflies and everything going on when you saw Bernicia, when she is just a little bit smaller than Tressa. Like, stop. They both are thick women. Why is we trying to sit up here and act like they are not both thick? That's what I don't like about him. So I'm actually glad he gone, because he just over here doing the least on top of that. And like I keep saying, if these people did not have beards, would nobody be here for it? Would nobody be giving them this energy? So yeah, anyway, they gone. Next week is going to be back into the hands of the men. And the men are going to have to let, I guess, whoever their number one pick is meet their friends, or whoever their best friend is, or something like that. But yeah, it's about to get real out here in these streets. So anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed this recap review of Ready to Love. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. Thumbs up this video for me. I hope y'all are having a wonderful weekend, y'all. I'm about to go back to sleep. I have had a long, exhausting week at work. Hopefully it ain't but 2-3 more days and that's it, because I'm exhausted. So tired. I had to pull a couple of 12s. I'm so tired. But anyway, y'all have a good one. I will see y'all later on for something else. Bye.